today's episode of Coffee and Cocoa.
Hello. How's everyone doing today?
Great. I feel I can see myself on the video here.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of a nickname I had in high school. Can anyone guess what that nickname is? Remind me. I'll say it at the end of the show.
Miss Frizzle?
Nope. Guess what my nickname was in high school? The hair is a hint. I'll give you one hint. You're going to guess my nickname in high school. It has to do with the hair. That's one. And number two is that it has to do with the movie. They recently did a remake of it.
Oh, really?
That's it. Those are my hints. I'll tell you guys what my nickname in high school was at the end of the night.
So, Joss, how are you doing? What's up?
I'm doing okay.
Doing okay.
You want to turn on your light bulb?
You know what? I tried to. Right
Get an idea.
There we go. Oh, it works.
Yay.
So, it's been a pretty crazy day here.
Yeah, it's been pretty crazy. We've been running around since, what, 9 o'clock?
9 o'clock in the morning,
9:30? Yeah. It's been pretty crazy.
What did we do today, Joss? We started with staff prayer.
We started with morning prayer.
So, Prayer Warrior Tuesday was today. So, we did that every Tuesday, 9:30 a.m. And then we had a staff meeting. We were just catching up, talking about some things. And then we set up. Because what did we do today, Joss?
We opened the church for prayer! Woo!
So we opened the church for the first time in, what, 2-3 months?
In about 8 weeks. But, I mean, I haven't been counting.
Yeah, not like we've been counting. But the church opened for the first time. We're opening the church here at St. Patrick's every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. As we told you guys last week.
From 6 to 8. 6 to 8.
It's pretty swell. I don't know. It was a lot. How did you feel about everything, Josh? How did you feel about the church reopening, how we did everything, how the procedures happened?
Yeah, so today was our first day opening up for the church. If you guys want to see the video of the church reopening and Father turning on the lights for the first time, we've turned it on for Sunday Mass, but not all of them, and we've turned it on for Sunday Mass, but it's like to turn them on to know that the congregation is coming it was really, really exciting. We literally, it was like me, Father Juan, and Brandon. We ran into the church. We're like, okay, the church is opening. Yeah, so it was really exciting.
It was a beautiful experience too, because we're planning all these things, but we actually don't know if people are gonna show up, if they're gonna come. But the people the Lord responded, they actually showed up, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah. So Elizabeth says, "Hi guys, hi Elizabeth."
Hi, Elizabeth.
And I guess St. Patrick's already said hello to you.
I guess so.
So, we're playing a game where you guess what my nickname in high school was, and my hair is the hint, and also a recent movie retake. I'll say that a couple of times throughout tonight's show.
I have no idea.
I know, you really don't know. I haven't talked about this.
It
was dark times.
But, yeah, so, we had a church opening today, which is really awesome, really cool. We had a couple stories from that, but something recently also happened. I'm not sure if you remember yesterday, you kind of graduated or something.
Yeah!
So congratulations for that, Joss.
Thank you.
Joss is now a master's in what, Joss?
Woo! Master's in social work.
Master's in social work. So, you graduated. How was that graduating in quarantine? You couldn't walk or anything.
Oh my gosh, it's so cool. I actually thought it was going to be really terrible.
Really?
Yeah, I had mixed emotions about it. I was like, wow, I'm a first generation. My parents didn't really have an education at all. Mm-hmm. Not really any formal education. So education was really ingrained in me at a young age to be of utmost importance. Mm-hmm. And so getting my master's and walking across the stage, it's not the walk that really matters as much as my mom and my dad seeing me walk. Mm-hmm. So I was like, wow, my mom and my dad are being robbed of the moment that they've worked so hard for their whole life. Mm-hmm. So I slept over at my mom's house, and it was cool to wake up with my mom and my dad and stuff. Mm-hmm. And they decorated the entire living room. So I sleep in. Everybody that knows me knows that. Challenge me to how long I could sleep, and I will win.
Sure.
I will win by a landslide. And so whatever, I woke up, and I walked into the living room, and the entire living room was filled with balloons and it's just presents all over the table and flowers and signs, and it was just so cute. And then later on throughout the day, my dad's cooking in the kitchen, and I go downstairs and We live in an apartment building. My parents live in an apartment building. My dad decorated with posters the front door and balloons hanging in the front.
Oh.
So it was really fun. My commencement ceremony was in the living room on my computer. I had some friends, fathers, they joined in on video, so that was really cool. And then my family came and we took a social distancing photo. It was just fun. We popped champagne at Liberty State Park. We prayed. They prayed over me.
Which that photo was very beautiful, so if you want to share that
Yeah.
in the comments, like, it's very beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, they prayed for me and all my future clients. So I thought that that was, you know,
but that's like, that's setting vision for your life and for your future. Like, it's not just about an achievement that you know, you graduate and you're done, but it's like really like, this is the start of a big journey. And like, you're already preparing to serve so many people, you know?
Yeah, I'm so excited.
So that's exciting. I'm like overjoyed. And like, I know there was a little chaos as soon as your name was called during graduation. You want to talk about that?
So I just posted the photo on the comments. Yeah, so the minute, like literally, there's like 5-6 people in my house and we're all shouting and I'm on the iPad and some people are also shouting from like, you know, the Zoom meeting that I have for it. And then my neighbor comes running up the stairs and he's like, come on, get out, get out. I was like, oh geez, what happened?
Yeah, like what's going on?
Well, me, my dad, my boyfriend almost got a parking ticket, but me and my dad both got parking tickets within seconds of getting my degree, and I thought that was hilarious. So I have a couple of photos of me and my dad like holding up parking tickets, and I felt like it was my diploma since I couldn't actually get a diploma.
Wow.
Felt like it was God giving me a diploma. It's like, here's your piece of paper.
It's like it's gonna be a challenge.
I'm just like, Lord, can I fight this though?
You might as well, but
yeah,
that's insane. Like, it's just exciting because I know, like, at the end of the day, like, a lot of times when you're first generation student, like your parents just want to see you graduate.
Yeah.
You know, so that is a blessing that even though you weren't able to walk and give them experience, that they still recognize that there's honor in it.
Yeah.
So it's very beautiful.
Yeah, they did a great job making me feel special.
So that's amazing. And yeah, it was just beautiful to hear all the stories and like, you know, just like you, but other graduates that are graduating, like they're realizing that maybe like it's not the big parties and celebrations that matter, but it's that reward and that being present with your family, you know, the people that have helped you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's important. So
Yeah.
it's pretty awesome.
Thanks.
But yeah, how's it feel?
It feels like I was thrown out. I don't know how to explain it. I love school. So not to be in school, not to have assignments is weird. And I guess I always have anxiety when it comes to school. So not having that anxiety is just kind of like, I guess, subliminally more anxiety because I feel like I have something to do, but I don't.
Well, you're used to the routine of being like, I have to do something to do.
Yeah.
And if I'm resting, I'm procrastinating.
Yes.
And so all of a sudden that you have nothing to do. It's like, whoa, like what's going on? So yeah, that's insane. It's awesome.
Thank you.
But yeah, like we were mentioning before, when we were talking about your graduation, like the church opened up. You know, this is all exciting and new. We were so glad that people actually responded and actually did come to church. It was very great to see people, but it was also interesting. There's an interesting situation that happened towards the end of the night, Josh.
Yeah, we had a surprise guest come.
Yeah.
So when we were, you know, a few of us were in kind of like the lobby area of the church while there were people praying, and it was me, Father, Brandon, and a friend of ours. So we're all with masks, and we're just kind of like talking about how excited we are that the church is open and stuff. And this guy walks by, this African American guy walks by without a mask, but that's neither here nor there because he was far from us, shouting at us how we are heretics, how we're going to hell while we're inside the church, telling us that we're going to hell, that we're terrible people, that we praise and glorify a white Jesus, that we're racist.
That like God said to not have photos of him. And
yeah,
all that.
yeah. Jesus said not to have any images of him. I for a second there got pretty concerned for our safety, to be honest, because I felt like we were in a safe space. I feel like when you're in church, you know that you're in a safe space, and for that moment, I didn't feel safe with that guy from the outside shouting at us, like yelling these things at us.
Yeah, and it was interesting too because like I don't know, I'm usually very like debate minded and like I can answer
Mm-hmm.
people's questions.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, but that's not true. Jesus is Middle Eastern. He was in this time period. He didn't look like this. He didn't look like that. Like,
Yeah.
but we're allowed the freedom of expressing him like this. Like, and technically God did ask for images to be made of this and that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wanted to answer, but then it's like, but this is not the kind of person you can reason
He
with.
wasn't trying to reason.
Exactly.
He wasn't trying to reason. He was trying to belittle, demean, and harass. It's called harassment.
And
it's called a hate crime.
Yeah, and the tough thing is like, they put God in a little box. Like God is bigger than the box that we've been putting him in. He's so much more than that. So it's really upsetting to see that. But then at the same time, like literally as he was leaving, like I'm done yelling, I was like, God bless you. Like peace. Like what are we gonna do? Like I could yell at you, I could debate you, but really I could just wish peace upon you. That maybe you'll calm down, let that anger simmer.
But honestly, Brandon, more so than that, we need to talk about how this occurred on the first day that the church opened.
Yeah.
And we've been talking about how the devil wants to attack our faith.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty crazy that the first day that the church opens, some guy walks across shouting obscenities at us.
Yeah. God knows, especially like you were saying, like the devil's not going to want to succeed. He's not going to want his people to come to church. The Lord's people to come to church. Like, and so like, I feel like that's definitely a challenge for us to like, number one, for us as leaders to be prepared to like, to be ready for a scenario. We didn't think of like, what if someone does come in with malintents?
Yeah.
Thank God he did, and he was just yelling at us. But also to be like, for us to be prepared that this is not going to be an easy ride. Like the devil's going to try to like kick our butts.
Yeah.
To really discourage us from actually doing this and opening up churches.
Yeah. And so I think that these are things that we all have to be ready for. Not just necessarily with hate crimes, but also with like restriction of our freedom to share our faith, right? I think that more and more we've been feeling how policies, especially like in churches and in schools, have been really like constraining, like no crucifixes in school, no
offensive
praying,
to say the name of Jesus.
And it's like, but I can say these things. We can talk about, certain things that I don't personally agree with, but what I really agree with, we can't talk about. I don't understand.
It's like we could talk about disgusting things that kids can do, minors, mind you, to do with their bodies, but we can't talk about, a man who taught peace, love.
Yeah, we can talk about abortion, but we can't talk about Jesus. We can talk about, all these things, murder. We can talk about the Holocaust, but we can't talk about peace and love. So, I don't know, it's just a little crazy how things are developing.
Yeah, and it is a challenge, too, for us to be prepared. Like, I think it was not the gospel, but the second reading here this past week or the previous week, where St. Peter's challenged us, like, I think actually it was this past week, but he was challenged us to, like, be ready to give a reason for your hope.
That was this Sunday's gospel.
This past Sunday, like, he says, give a reason for your hope, but be ready to do it for gentleness. So, like, when the world is facing us with hatred and malintent, like, the answer is not always to, like, just, like, fight back, but also, like, fight back with love. Like, who knows what wounds that guy had. Maybe he was just in an issue or whatever else, but, like, regardless, like, we need to be ready to give reasons for our hope and to stand up for our faith.
Yeah.
Our faith is something active. Love is active. It's always, like, seeking the glory of God.
Yeah. So, yes, it is a challenge to have to face people in that fashion and to have to face things like that. But I think that part of being a Christian is to say, here I am, Lord, I come to do your will.
That's the beauty of the gospel. It's that the Lord invites us, we can choose it. But like any relationship, especially like, for example, like in a husband and wife, you always want to learn your spouse more. In the same way in our relationship with God, we want to learn more about God. And that means learning more so that not only that we fall deeper in love, but also that we're ready to defend him. And give him the proper justice.
Yeah.
But despite all of that, like, I'm just happy the churches are open.
Yes.
We were talking to people and we were saying, we're going to be back here tomorrow, like all that. It was just exciting to hear that, like, you're going to come back tomorrow. Like, people want to come back home to their churches, which is beautiful.
Yeah. The church is open Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday from 6 to 8. And I think we were pretty
Tuesday,
good.
Wednesday, Thursday from 6 to 8.
Wow.
Weren't you getting on that?
I'm
last
sorry.
week?
I was so tired. I'm so tired.
It's been a
Tuesday,
long day.
Wednesday, Thursday.
From
Tuesday,
6
Wednesday,
to 8.
Thursday from 6 to 8. Yeah.
Confessions were available. I think almost everyone that came went to confession.
Yeah.
Which was beautiful to see. But the fact that people came to pray, it was just great.
And I think what I love the most about it is, when we do things here at the parish, we always try to make sure that there's some sort of structure or schedule. That when people come, okay, are we going to have the Blessed Sacrament? Are we going to do this? Are we going to do that? And what I really enjoyed about tonight is that we're not going to do anything but let you be alone with Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was really special because I saw a young adult come in. I saw 2, 3 young adults come in. Mm-hmm. And all they did was sit there and talk to Jesus. And I think that that's so important because sometimes we feel like, I don't know, I know that as a church, we feel like we need to offer this is not, and it's like, nope, just open the doors.
Just open the doors. John Paul II said, open wide the doors to Christ. And we did that.
Yeah.
And people responded. And it was beautiful, too, because one of the people that came by, they were, brushing off tears as they were leaving.
No way.
They're like, I needed this, I missed this, And it just touched my heart, because, that's what I've been praying for this whole quarantine. Mm-hmm. I've been praying for that when people start coming back to churches, they realize what they've, took for granted.
Yeah, what they've been missing.
And so, the fact that people are coming back and saying, oh my gosh, I've missed Jesus. Mm-hmm. I've missed my community. We have pretty great homilies here at St. Patrick's, but sometimes I was talking to a friend and they're like, I miss the crappy homilies. I miss the stale donuts. I miss, not having my seat because someone else sat there.
Yeah.
But, all those annoyances are what we miss right now.
Yeah, little kids crying in the background that you're like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be Cheerio.
But right? that's the beauty. Where people see kids crying as annoying, we see it as a church being alive.
But I love the little kids. I love the families. I love seeing families worship in community because I think that it is a hope for us young people. That
exactly.
I remember this priest one time. He was in a parish in Hoboken. He's a priest that I'm pretty cool with. Love him. And somebody, it was at I think like a 10 o'clock mass or something. And somebody complained to Father that the kids were being very annoying and very loud in church.
Wow.
And so Father was like, oh, don't worry, I'll handle it. So Father went up to the pulpit and he made an announcement. And he said, whoever is complaining about the kids being loud in my parish can come to another mass or can, I don't know, go to another parish. But the kids crying in my pews means that the church is alive and well. So let them cry.
Yeah. And it's a beauty too because we ask couples when they get married to be open to life.
Yeah. And then you're going to restrict them to coming to church?
Exactly. So when we hear babies cry, I feel bad for sometimes parents. They feel like, oh, I have to silence the baby. It's like, no, keep them crying. Yeah. You're doing great.
And most of the time they cry right on cue.
Yeah, right. The priest is elevating the host.
Yeah.
Starts crying.
Yeah.
I know a friend of mine's, her little daughter, every time the priest elevates the host, she's like, it's Jesus.
That's
and,
so cute.
The audacity, some people find that annoying, but she knows
She knows that it's Jesus.
She gets it more than us, actually.
Yeah.
So.
And not only that, but bringing your child to church, I think it also teaches them about, sometimes we're like, all right, we're going to sit in the cry room or we're going to do this and that. And it's like, that's great. I get it. But if you stay here, you're teaching your child that even though they're fussy now, that eventually they're going to have to sit quiet.
Yeah.
Eventually, they're not going to need these distractions to be able to sit through the mass.
Yeah.
So I think that's important.
So I'm excited to see eventually all the families come back, and even as we're just doing these times of prayer, to just hear the sounds of children playing with the books or their books that they're wearing, or just staring at Jesus or talking amongst each other. That's the sound of the church being alive. And I miss it so much.
Yes,
I miss it so much.
We were so excited today with the church opening. Yeah. But I just want to remind you guys that we are being really strict with social distancing in the church. I was handing out wipes as folks were coming in. Yeah. And masks must be worn in order to come in.
Maintain social distance. Please bring hand sanitizer if you're coming.
We have plenty of stuff that we're giving, and we also clean the pews after you sit in them.
Yeah.
We cleaned, Angel. Shout out to Angel and Lou. They cleaned the church today as well, and we also clean after you sit on the pew. I literally take notes of who's sitting where, and go and wipe down the pew before in front of them and the pew that they sat in.
Because we want people to feel safe, to feel secure.
Yes.
to know that we're taking every precaution
Mhm.
necessary, and even
Mhm.
beyond that.
Mhm.
You know, like not only are your pews clean, you know, they smell really nice too.
Yes, yes,
So it is very exciting that the church is open again. That we are, you know, opening the door wide to Christ,
Mhm.
and just that we're excited to have it continue to happen. Like we're only on day one. Like who knows what stories we're gonna have for next week
Yeah, yeah. Or
So-
tomorrow.
or tomorrow.
Hate crime today. Who knows tomorrow? I saw deers running around in Jersey City, so maybe they'll come stop by.
Yeah, maybe one will walk into the church and
Yeah.
just like, pretty sure it's a psalm. So
Yeah.
and a dead birds.
There's so many dead birds around
And a
town.
dead squirrel. It's a
Dead
whole other
squirrels.
conversation.
But yeah, that's another conversation.
But yeah. So Joss, like, number one, again, congratulations on your graduation.
Thank you.
But again, like, we invite you guys, you know, if you're able in your area, if you feel up for it, if you feel safe, we'll be opening our doors every Tuesday,
Yes.
Wednesday, Thursday from 6 to 8 o'clock for private prayer and for confessions.
Yeah.
Even just drive by, say hello. Like, we miss your faces. Like,
We have people that literally just came in, prayed for 5 minutes, and left, which
Exactly.
is fine. Like that's what we're here for.
Just
That's
come
what
in.
the church is open for.
but stop and say hi to Jesus. Say hi to us. Like, we all miss you too.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So at the beginning of the show, I said, "What was my high school nickname?" My hair had a lot to do with it, and a recent remake of a movie.
Scooby?
What?
I don't know. Scooby Doo?
No, they remade a movie for Scooby Doo.
Yeah, it just came out.
No, they used to call me Simba in high school. It was the nickname that they had for me because Simba has this like big, like, you know, hair.
Simba's cute.
Yeah, well, I'm cuter than Simba. So yeah, that was my nickname back in high school. I'm pretty sure it was like freshman or sophomore year. They used to call me Simba. So I think I brought my Simba name back.
Went to an all boy high school, so I'm not going to repeat the nicknames we had.
Don't want to know them.
Don't want to know them.
Don't want to know them. Well, thanks for joining us tonight. God bless you.
Yeah, and we'll see you next week again, Tuesday at 8:30 p.m.
Yes.
And just for a quick announcement, we'll be doing Bible study again tomorrow at 7 o'clock. And we'll see other stuff later on.
Yeah, if you're interested in RCIA, the second wave of RCIA started. We're starting on Thursdays. So if you're interested, you can comment down below in RCIA and becoming Catholic and learning about Catholicism. And also, if you're available tomorrow or Thursday, the church will be open from
6 to 8 o'clock.
From what time?
6 to 8 o'clock.
They didn't hear you.
6 to 8 o'clock.
Yes, church is open
Not Monday.
Tuesday, Wednesday,
Yeah, there you go.
Thursday from 6 to 8 o'clock. Good night. God bless you.
Good night, everyone. Thank you again for joining us.